Hi, I'm Linda Sterling Cease. Welcome to my blog, Speaking of Joy. It's Valentine's week, and that means fresh flowers, sweet cards, romantic dinners. My favorite quote about love has been attributed to Walt Whitman, but it's actually a paraphrase of one of his poems. I like it anyway. It says, "We were together. I forget the rest." Now that's a tight, skillful edit of what really matters, being together. And forgetting, and maybe even forgiving, everything else. Research shows that when we fall in love, the most primal and powerful part of our brain instinctually reacts. Studies done by Helen Fisher have shown that falling in love induces our little reptilian brain to shower dopamine all over the rest of our brain. Even the way we describe it, falling in love, that does not sound like a choice, does it? It sounds more like a willing leap off of a cliff. Now, when love puts a spell on you, that dopamine turns you into a hyper-focused and highly motivated pleasure seeker, much like a drug addict. But what happens when the dopamine effect declines over time? How do you stay together and forget the rest? Most relationships die of neglect, boredom, and resentment. If you're not growing together, well, then you're growing apart. When you have a love you want to hold on to, how can you forget and, if necessary, forgive too? Well, here's one simple step. If you can forget, then it's very likely not necessary that you also forgive. We're just holding on to junk at that point. What we really need to do is hit the delete button and forget the little stuff. It's an act of grace when we do that, and it shows respect and appreciation too for our partner. It's looking the other way. When your partner cannot seem to hit the laundry basket, or remember to take off their shoes when they're muddy, or, my favorite, leaving all of those empty boxes in the freezer. Not really sure I understand that, but it happens. I do know, though, that a simple strategy for a happier union is to ignore life's natural imperfections as much as we can. And ironically, if you can't forget, well, then it's likely that you really do need to forgive. So how do we do that? How do we hold on to what we want rather than move on? I think in romantic love, forgiveness is easier when you first let go of resentment. Second, appreciate the good in your partner. And finally, express love, even when you're not feeling very loving. Leaping off a cliff, well, that's not a choice. But forgetting and forgiving, those are choices. And in the pursuit of love, sometimes those are the best choices that we can make. I hope your life this week is full of joy and gratitude. Happy Valentine's. I'll see you soon.